Do we have a mass epidemic of transgender shooters here in America? I'm just going to say it. You can't help yourself but think these questions when you see something like today where we're flooded. We are absolutely flooded with the news constantly talking about the mega church, Joel Osteen, this shooter that came on in, a transgender, and luckily two good guys with guns completely eliminated the threat. But we're all kind of kidding ourselves thinking that this is something new. We've seen transgender shooters since 2018 in recent memory. So let's talk about it. Everyone remembers the Nashville Christian School, right? There, 6 were killed, including 3 children. A transgender shooter coming into a school after creating a manifesto of hating Christians, white people, straight people, and thinking it's okay to just kill kids over it. It's an absolute mental disease. So we don't end there. Now all of a sudden, someone else is getting targeted. And I start to just wonder, at what point do we find ourselves in issues that are running rampant and also have this constant intersection of what's actually happening in America? You couldn't put together a more crazy story of a transgender from El Salvador, like the border wall crisis that we're dealing with. And then they want to top it with a free Palestine on the AR-15 while we're dealing with the situation at the Gaza Strip. It's just unreal. You literally just compiled all of the news that we've had in the past few months and slapped it into one psychotic story. But thank God for guys with guns. The threat was eliminated, but that 7-year-old son that was with this woman, right? Because the woman was a man, 36 years old, Genesi Moreno. Interesting. Walked in with a trench coat, AR-15, tried to shoot people at Joel Osteen's megachurch. The 7-year-old unfortunately has passed, so added to the tally of transgender killers. But let's get back to it, honestly. 2018, Aberdeen, Maryland, people going into a raid aid, 4 people shot and killed by a transgender. 2019, Colorado Springs. Does anyone else remember how big of a news story that was? The LGBTQ nightclub friendly hotspot was attacked by a white straight male when it turned out that that shooter was non-binary. Moving on, 2023, the Denver shooter. You can't even celebrate a basketball game without fearing that you're going to get shot with a stray bullet. This was 9 people injured in a mass shooting downtown Denver after a Nuggets game. Nothing is sacred anymore at all. So it really does bring me to the original question. Is there some sort of mass shooting epidemic? Because as far as I'm concerned, this is happening on a regular basis for what? We're in 2024 now, so that's 6 years of this being a regular occurrence. But somehow we're supposed to clutch our pearls and say that we didn't see this coming. There's clearly some sort of mental instability going on, and it's not a gun problem. It's a people problem. It's a mental problem. And it's very early on. Obviously more news is going to come out about this and we will be keeping up with it. But I can't stress enough the fact that every major issue that we've had in the US, when you talk about national security at the border, mental health, religion, Israel, Hamas, and you have everything in one active shooter situation. You cannot make this up. This is normal in America now, and it ought to not be normal anymore. So I'm just sweating out of my pits just thinking about it. It's horrible.